What's going on, guys? It's Madballer here and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a great gameplay for you and a good example of how to win lane against a counter matchup. For my runes, I'm running Grasp the Undying with Sorcery secondary as well as double armor shards as we're against Fiora. Fiora is widely considered to be a counter to Maokai, and I would agree with that, but I think it's a lane that you can play around fairly well if you play smart and you sacrifice some early game presence and just try to scale away until you get your Bramble Vest. So you can see here I'm just going to try and CS as much as I can, and if I need to be, CS with Q. I'm also going to be trying to poke Fiora with my Q to proc my mana flow band and get the max mana from that as soon as possible. We are up against Warwick in the jungle, so you can see in a second I'm going to go ward an early ward because Warwick can gank as soon as 230 or 240 as opposed to doing a full clear or a later clear like some other junglers do. So just CSing away, and you'll see I put my ward down now. I don't want to go face check Tribush because he could already be there, but this ward will give me enough early warning as I will be playing fairly passive and won't be going in on Fiora anyway. As I say that, I do jump in and take a poor W, but it's not the end of the world as he does tank cannon for quite a few autos, and I do come out only slightly behind in that trade. Just on Q, you can see Warwick coming into gank before 3 minutes. So an early gank for Warwick. He's unfortunately is able to clear my ward, and since I don't have another one available, I'm gonna have to play fairly passively for the next 20 seconds, as he could just be sitting and try. However, at 3:15, obviously Scuttle is going to spawn, and it's very, very likely he's going to take that. The good news is from our ward, Elise is going to be able to counter jungle Warwick and take his wolves for free and get a little bit ahead, as well as get bot side Scuttle as well. It's very important to see here. I'm going to walk up here to pull the minions and keep that from hitting tower. That gives me the double benefit of not having to CS under tower, which Maokai is pretty terrible at. And it also means that Fiora is going to have to play a bit dangerously and play up and risk taking tower shots under my tower. So it's really good for me where the wave is right now. It's in a great position. We're going to keep poking away with Q, proccing our mana flow band, and just trying to scale up. Obviously, we are going to be rushing Bramble Vest. You always rush this against Fiora. Once you get Bramble, it really cuts down on a healing and Q poke, and it's a fantastic way of getting yourself into the game. Fiora is TPing bot. I can't follow that, unfortunately, as I just don't have enough mana, but this is great because it allows me to push out the wave without having to use TP. So great for me. Lucky she didn't get a kill or assist. We are going to try and shove this up as fast as possible, which is not easy with early game Maokai. So once we get this into tower, we're just going to try and back off as soon as possible. And I am lucky enough to back with 1,000 gold, so we'll be able to get Bramble Vest, which is going to be a huge, huge spike for me, and it's going to make it really safe for me to lane. The other excellent thing here is I will have TP advantage, so you can see I'm pinging my TP for my team to let them know that I will be looking to TP if possible. It doesn't look like there's an opportunity bot, so we're just going to run back to lane. If anyone's been paying attention to the pre-patch 9.10 chat, probably 10.10 changes, Maokai is going to be getting a nerf this patch. The full extent is not fully known, but what's been confirmed is that he's going to be getting a mana cost increase in his Q, which I think is fair enough. I've been playing a lot of Maokai recently and winning at a pretty high win rate. I think he's a little bit stronger than he should be right now. So if it means I get to play more, that's okay. And it just means that you may need to take Corrupting Potion to certain matchups, whereas right now I'm taking Doran Shield into every matchup except tanks. We see Warwick mid, so we can push out the lane fairly safely, and I think Fiora is disbacked. So Elise is playing aggressively topside. Obviously, I don't think we can get a dive, but Fiora is tasked in the wrong way. And we do burn the flash. You can see I held my Q there. If Fiora isn't going to parry your W, she's definitely going to parry immediately afterwards, because obviously everyone expects the instant Q after W. So by holding that, I was able to avoid the parry and make sure we burnt Fiora's flash. If you pay attention now, you can actually see that when Fiora's she goes all in, sorry. What I should have mentioned there is I was aware that Fiora was going to be playing to all in there, and obviously in any situation where Elise wasn't there, I was going to die. But knowing Elise was playing around top side, I actually just stayed to bait. If Elise wasn't there, you just need to back off, unfortunately, and lose those CS. Playing the Fiora matchup is very much about knowing when she can all in you. Maokai wins lane by just poking with Q, occasionally using saplings, but mainly just poking with Q and just forcing her away from the all in, as you can actually disrupt her riposte with Q. So obviously there, I did know that Fiora had the upper hand, but with jungle pressure, you're able to stay up there. And you can see, a perfect example, I can't stay there. I'm going to lose all 5 minions, and Fiora has a small freeze, which does suck, but I won't lose too many CSs that will push back to me. After Bramble Vest, we're going to start walking towards Sunfire. They do have a fairly AD team. Warwick does a bit of magic damage, but right now he's not ganking top much, and I do want to be able to hammer Fiora. That's really important. And Kennen is not going to be focusing me in team fights. I will get some MR later, but right now I'm just going to rush into Sunfire as soon as possible. As I path back top lane, I'm always looking to see if I can TP, make a play. I really do want to get the CS, but if I'm needed, I will TP. But we're able to pick up most of the CS. So right now I'm going to ward that Tri-Brush. It's really common when the jungler and top laner take Rift Herald, for the jungler to come through Tri-Brush. So I just want to be aware of that with an early ward, and just understand whether I need to back off or if I can stay. So you can see Fiora is losing these trades hard right now, and a lot of that just comes down to Bramble Vest. She's taking damage just by Qing me, let alone my normal damage from Q, autos and grasp. So you can see here what I was talking about. You cancel the riposte with Q. Unfortunately, Warwick is top, but I'm very strong, and I'm able to pick up the 1v2 kill on Fiora. I think I can beat Warwick, but I'm a little bit worried about my CDs. So I flash away, hoping he'd follow me. He doesn't. In hindsight, I'm not sure if that was the right play, but I didn't want to risk him sustaining while I was waiting with a couple of seconds till my Q and W. So no real issue there. I may have been able to get a double kill, but that was a safe play, and I do come out way ahead. Now Fiora is really screwed. She's going to miss most of that wave, and I pick up another kill's worth of gold. Since I can't get complete ninjas, I'm just going to get a Ruby Crystal and Cloth. If I had 1100, obviously I'd get Ninja's Tabi. But since I only have 700, it's better to pick up combat stats, so I don't really need to be moving around too much right now. Now Fiora has been holding that Rift the Herald for a while, so I'm trying to get my Elise to come back up top, because I want to kill her again before she gets a chance to pop that, right? If she can't pop it, she's not going to get the gold from it. It's going to be completely wasted. So if we can kill Fiora again, that's going to be fantastic. I've been playing a lot recently with chat not enabled, as you just don't want to see the toxicity all the time, and it helps me with my mental a lot. But sometimes you do need to enable it, obviously. Not really sure what Fiora was doing there. I think she's a little bit tilted. But lucky Elise, I think Elise is able to pick it up, and she's even further behind. So we're able to be successful in what I was talking about, just delaying her Rift deployment even further. Hopefully she dies or isn't able to pop it close to lane, and she won't get any gold from that. If you're paying attention to the chat, you can see immediately why. A lot of the time I play with chat off. in this low diamond elo, it's really pretty toxic a lot of the time. So sometimes playing the chat off is the best thing to do. So now we're just going to try and disengage. I don't think we have the damage with Elise being there and Warwick being there, so I'm just going to back up. But Fiora is chunked again, so I don't really need to back yet. I'm holding the wave here as well because I don't want Fiora to get close enough to be able to put down Rift. So just holding the wave as far in the middle of the lane as I can, because I can obviously tank her in the wave pretty easily. Now I'm pinging Elise because I want her to come for a lane gank. I'm a bit worried Warwick is still top, so if she can come lane gank, we'll be in a great spot. But what we end up doing is just hard pushing towards tower anyway. This makes a good flash pay, but obviously Fiora does have parry, but that's fine regardless. And we are able to force her to pop Rift really far back in the lane. That's never going to get to our tower, so she's going to get essentially 0 gold from that. I'm not really sure what's happening here. This is a pretty shocking fight to take. Yeah, so I've got a bounty. I'm not going to. Well, I don't have a bounty yet. I thought I had a bounty, but obviously I am fairly farmed, and I don't really want to risk that. It's better to just let Yasuo die there. So Yasuo and Elise are going back and forth. When I do chat, and I'm in a good mental state, I'm just trying to keep Yas playing. My worry here is that Yasuo decides to run it down or AFK, right? So if I can keep his mental in a decent spot, we've got a good chance of winning. So that was a bit of a misplay there by me. I should have held my R, and she does get the plate damage, which kind of sucks. I do enjoy the Fiora matchup a lot of the time because it does come down to a lot of mind games, and there's room for a lot of outplays on both sides, I guess. Not that there's a huge amount of outplay potential playing Maokai, but just things like holding your spells and your stuns, try and bait her a post is quite enjoyable, I think, to me. Now Elise is Fiora staying for some reason, but I'm fine to tank that on the tower. And she burns flash. I'm not sure if she thought that was an outplay or a great play. It would not be nice to kill her, but I don't really care. It's enough for me that I burnt her flash, and she doesn't get anything from it. Just going to get that demolished damage onto tower and just try and shove it in. Obviously, we're not going to be able to dive Fiora from full HP, and I don't really want to be hanging around with low mana and 2/3 HP and give her a return kill. Again, just trying to talk positively in chat, trying to keep our Yasuo going at least until we get the win. I'm a little bit worried about that since I think this game is very much in our favour. When I'm ahead, it gives our team fight a lot of potential because obviously I can put down a lot of CC and some damage. So hopefully I can get here in time. We're able to force Kennen out. I'm coming as soon as I can. Fiora's top. That's fine. At this point with plates down and first tower taken, I don't really care if she takes my top tower. It's mainly just about denying as many plates as possible in the early game. So after Dragon, obviously, next thing I want to do is take some turrets, but I'm going to try and just rotate. They can get it without me, so I'm just going to rotate top to try and catch the wave, or as much of it as I can. Just checking Fiora wasn't doing blue. I'm going to shove out top as fast as I can because I don't want to leave my team overextended without me. So just going to shove out the wave quickly, so shove it onto Fiora's side of the map, and then, yeah, it's the next objective, right? So we've gone Dragon, mid lane tower, bit of farm, and then we're going to the next objective, which is Rift. It's really important to play this way, and sometimes your team gets it, sometimes they don't, so I'm just trying to make sure my team does get it. So Elise looks like she's got the right idea. If Fiora comes to contest this, we can just kill her, so I'm just keeping an eye out for that. But without their juggler being present, this should be a free Rift Herald. And if Elise follows me, she may overstay and we may be able to get a kill. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. We see Warwick top, so we're going to be a little bit careful. But we do see 3 mid. Unfortunately, Yasuo does pick up another death. He's not having his best game, but that's okay. As long as he keeps playing and makes it a 5v5, we should be okay. If we'd been able to hit the stun, that would have been really nice, but it looks like a team fight is breaking out. I'm able to get a big root there, and it looks like we're going to be winning this fight. I'm going to try and peel back, and I was trying to peel back on the cannon, but once I see the opportunity, go for those extra kills, and we're able to get a really, really easy team fight victory there. And yeah, so he's still typing in chat, but I think it's okay. It's okay. You can, if he splits, that's fine. I'm just trying to keep him propped up, I guess is the word to describe. Trying to keep him staying in the game for as long as possible, even though he's really obviously very tilted. That was a really, really good Rift play as well by, I believe, Elise. So we're able to get 2 towers out of that and leave mid open. At this point, we're going to be going into our second item, which is obviously Abyssal Mask. It's going to help our damage, and it's going to help the Elise's damage as well, and to the Bard to a lesser extent. I don't think I need any more armor right now. Obviously got 218, so a lot of armor. An Abyssal Mask will give me to help my mana issues, and it'll give me a ton of extra damage to the passive as well. I was a little bit out of position clearing top. I didn't think the fight was starting, but I am able to join a little bit later. So I don't think I can contribute much, and we're able to get the cannon fairly easily. With 10 seconds on the Ezreal, I think we can get this tower. We just need to try and deal with these two obviously first. But a nice 2-man route. I believe we're able to pick up the fuel in a second. Not. So we weren't able to pick up the inhib, but that's okay. It was a bit optimistic, but we were able to get 2 for 1 anyway. A Cloud Dragon is spawning in 50 seconds. It'll be our 3rd dragon of the game, which means that Dragon Soul is going to be potentially a really good win condition for us. So I'm going to just path over now. I don't have enough gold to buy anything, and I've got enough health and mana to stay. So I'm probably going to stay around, get some saplings down for some vision, and put down one of my 2 pinks to try and get control over the dragon pit for the fight that is inevitably going to break out, right? And the Bard and the Yasuo keep going back and forth. I didn't realise, I thought Yasuo was talking to himself, but I did have the Bard muted, so... So like I said, I've put a pink down on Baron. I'm going to be sapling up for some light CC with the slow and vision. I mean, I'm feeling myself, right? I'm having a great game, so I'm not really sure why Bard and Yasuo are fighting, but it's just another day in Diamond, I guess, guys. It's not the nicest environment to play in. I'm not sure what it's like in Challenger. Hopefully it's nicer, but we'll see if we do get there. So good Bard ult there. I think we're going to get a couple of kills here, or maybe more. Fiora's going very, very deep, which is an interesting play. And we're able to pick her off fairly easily. Oh, and they do end up surrendering. So That's a pretty good example game of how to handle Fiora. Obviously rushing Bramble Vest, playing passive, and just trying to stonewall the lane as much as possible. If you guys found that informative, learned a little bit about the Fiora matchup and enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe, guys. But we're getting a bit of traction now and it's really exciting. We'll be having more gameplays of Maokai coming out, as well as Tryndamere and Maud, and I'm looking to add some other champions to the pool, so let me know what you want to see. And as always, guys, good luck in solo queue.